Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gooners God Wild podcast. The hands are coming back out because we just whipped PSV 4-0 in the Champions League. Lads, how are we all doing after that ginormous, enormous, massive, as some West Ham fans would say, performance in the Champions League? How are you guys feeling?
We're back.
We're back.
Yeah,
we're winning.
That's it. We're back.
Exactly.
Give us prime Barca. Give us prime
Barca. Give us prime Real. Give us prime Bayern. We're winning.
We're winning.
Maybe leave out Bayern for my PTSD, but I'll take the other two.
We have just as much
Madrid.
We have just as much PTSD against Barca though.
Yeah.
No. The recent PTSD is definitely Bayern for me.
Yeah.
But big up 4-0. Clean sheet.
4-0. Safe to say, lads, this was the best performance you've seen all season.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Easily.
Yeah.
Broussard gets to start every game. Raya gets to start every
game. Yo, Sammy, you saw the vision of Raya way before we did. You saw the vision.
You, dude. He's a Spanish player, and not to be biased because I watch La Liga a lot, but he's way better than Ramsdale in almost every aspect.
I will say, and I was talking to some of the other guys, I was very sad that Ramsdale did not get the start. I think he personally deserved it, even though, like, obviously Raya was solid the last match that they played, and again, very solid this match. I think Ramsdale deserved it just because of what he did in order to get us to this point in Champions League. I think it would have been a nice tip of the hat from Arteta to put him in and start him and at least give him the first Champions League match. It would have been his first Champions League match ever, and our first time back in Champions League after 7 seasons. So I was kind of sad, but Raya did great in goal.
2 clean sheets in a row, man. That's all I'm saying.
I said it's because Ryan is Spanish and Arteta's Spanish, so there's a little favoritism there. But
could be.
English boy to the bench.
I will say, our first clean sheet at home did go to Raya and not Ramsdale. So I mean, that's massive. That's a pretty big stat. Speaking of pretty big stats, Onana letting in 9 goals on target out of 14 in his career. Sorry, moving on. Sorry.
No,
Forgot we were on Arsenal podcast there for a second. Wow, holy.
You should go back to doping, man.
You should go back to doping.
Might help at this point.
They might need to bring back De Gea from free agency.
Yeah, there you go.
He learned from De Gea for that first goal.
that game should have been like 9-0, honestly.
Yeah. Facts.
They got rocked.
Facts.
We honestly could have bagged more gols in our match as well.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But all right, bring it back to the almighty Gooners. Starting off, big 3 points. First Champions League game in 7 years. I will gladly wait another 7 years if that means we will play like that in the Champions League again. Because holy, that was some orgasmic football, in the words of Eric Cantona. The other thing that I'd like to point out: Odegaard over Ozil. Ozil's my boy, but Odegaard, man.
Oh man, that's
a sexy jersey. But Odegaard, man, I don't know. Odegaard, man, he
is Captain Fantastic for sure, but he needs to do a bit more in order to get to Ozil's level. But I know you love Ozil as much as I do.
I do.
We love our creative midfielders.
Yeah,
we love our creative cams.
The special lows. We love the special lows.
Oh yeah,
the special
lows, baby. But what a finish by him.
Yeah, right? What a finish. And we're going to get into all the goals here in a second. I'm just going to go around the table, ask you guys how you feel about today's performance overall, and then we'll get into a little bit some more of the specifics. So I'm going to start with Sammy. We missed out on you in the pre-match, so we're going to let you kick it off. How did you feel about today's match?
Best match we played all season. I was a little worried with the young squad going into Champions League, but they were ready. Came out the gate firing, and honestly, Saliba was massive today. And he's honestly the reason our back line is so solid. And honestly, Raya knows how to command his box, came out for crosses, and his distribution wasn't as great as it was last game, but I'll take it. And honestly, I'm looking forward to topping this group this year.
Oh, big statements. Topping
already calling it.
Yeah, wow.
I'm right there with you, baby.
I also do agree. But yeah, no, I agree with Saliba being massive today. And I think the thing that we're so not used to is when a defender makes a mistake, Saliba is able to remedy his own mistake. I think as Arsenal fans, we were so not used to that, where one defender made a mistake, someone then had to overcompensate, and then we have a hole smack dab in the middle of the field, and they always punished us for that. So I think that's huge that we finally have two center backs, I would say, that are able to correct their own mistakes. So
No more nightmares of David Luiz and Mustafi.
True. No more nightmares. Again, I don't even want to think about it. But let's go to Mr. Ari, who grossly mispredicted this lineup.
The rotation.
The rotation.
Wait, hold on, pause. Did you get a single player in the starting lineup right?
No, I don't think so. Aside from his.
It was one of the center and Gabriel. You had Gabriel,
and I think you had Trossard starting too, didn't you?
No, I had both of the center backs, I think, as well.
No, because you said Kyrior.
No.
I said Kyrior on the left.
On the left.
Okay.
So I got both center backs. I got Jesus and I got Saka. That's it. Yeah. You know, you guys said rotation, and all I could think of was rotation, so I was trying to rotate everyone.
Bro, so the under U18s in there.
No, but what are your thoughts on the game?
I thought I was playing Football Manager, so I thought I could rotate everyone. But I thought we played really convincingly the entire game. There's a 10-15 minute period in the first half where I was a little bit concerned with how we were playing. We were kind of just booting the ball a lot, and we weren't really playing our style of possession and dominating. So I got a little bit worried in the first half, but then we got things under control, and we started to really be fluid and maintain possession and, play ball like we do. But like Simon said, I think this is the best ball we played all year so far. So hopefully we can continue that form into the Tottenham game and then keep it going for the rest of the year.
Yeah, no, for sure. I can't disagree at all. That was a weird way of saying that. Doc, how are you feeling about today's performance?
Dude, I was watching this while I was at work treating patients, and I had all my patients watching it with me, and oh baby, dude, whenever Trossard hit that, I was doing like this through the clinic, and one of my patients did it right back at me. we're building Gunners fans while we're treating up here. No, but I was so happy with how we performed. I don't think it could have been a better performance for our first match back in Champions League, and also to do it against the team that I think we all thought would give us the biggest problems in our group in PSV. Now, granted, it was at home in the Emirates, very hard place to play, especially with us not being in Champions League for 7 years. You already knew the whole entire stadium was going to be turned up and keyed in for that match, but we looked really good. I didn't think there were too many points throughout the match that we were too stagnant. We always looked like we were dangerous in attack. And I was happy overall with all of the performances across the board. I didn't think that there were any players that played poorly. Havertz didn't cost us a goal. He played pretty well. He was tracking back. If he lost the possession, he was getting it back right away. He had some very good first touches and playing out of pressure. So I thought he had a pretty good match back in. I think him not starting has taken some of the pressure off of him, which has helped him settle in a little bit more.
Yeah, 1,000%. And that was actually what I was going to bring up with my reaction as well. I just think Kai Havertz had such a solid game, and this is the Havertz that we're looking for. The holding midfielder who can drive the ball forward and then get into that final third. I think that's something that he needs to focus on a little bit more rather than his false nine position. And I think once we kind of unlock that key, I think we'll be all right. He was fantastic on and off the ball. He didn't really have a lot of dispossessions as he's so used to having. And I really think that he had a solid performance. Overall, again, super impressed with Zinchenko. I was super impressed with Fabio Vieira when he came on. Again, Declan Rice moving
Mr.
like
Consistent.
Oh my goodness, moving like genuinely a world-class player. When we see players come in for these big price tags, this has been a consistent talking point on this podcast. When we see them come in for these big price tags, Pepe, for example, we have a lot of pressure and a lot of expectations for these players. And Rice is proving that he is worth every penny of that 110 million or 105 million, however much we paid for him. And it was just simply fantastic. The performance in the midfield today, the performance in the back. Again, because I'm fucking nitpicking at everything, I think we could have been a little bit more clinical at times in our finishes. I think Reese could have had one. I think Jesus could have had another one on top of his first. I definitely think Fabio Vieira should have had one, but he decided to cut it back, play across. But you know what?
Could have had
Havertz could have had one as well.
We could have played him the ball.
I know. But you know what? I will go on the line of we were respecting them as a team, and we didn't want to embarrass them on an away trip to the Almighty Emirates. But with that being said, first goal fell to, oh my goodness, there's so many goals today, I can't even remember. I believe it fell to Saka, opening up our UCL our UCL account. And the cool thing is, I don't know if you guys realize, those first 3 goals, the goal scorer of the previous goal assisted the next goal. So Saka assisting Trossard, and then Trossard assisting Jesus. So Saka's goal, walk me through it, guys. How when that finish came in, I was kind of a little bit of a, ping pong type of finish, but 8 minutes in, walk me through it, guys. How you feeling?
Poor keeping error, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
He was quick to pounce, which I like.
I agree. Yeah, I think the keeper should have done better with palming that away, either putting it out or not putting it back into the danger area. But I mean, like you said, Saka did an excellent job on crashing the net. So
yeah, and that's his first goal ever in Champions League. And
many more to come.
Many more to come.
Many more to come. Many more to come. And then the keeper's bottom right corner kept getting peppered as Trossard finished in the bottom right.
That was filthy.
Fantastic finish. And Mudryk, come outside, baby, because I want to talk. Because of you, we got Trossard. He's 10 times the player as you. All right, talk me through it, guys. How are you guys?
A third of the price.
I know, bro. Holy shit.
So much better technically.
Yeah,
so much better.
He's been class. I think one of the announcers was saying that he's had, and correct me if I'm wrong, is it 4 goals so far this season, including Community Shield?
Yep, correct.
Like everything. He's had 4 goals this season. I think he's our top scorer across all competitions so far, and he hasn't really been getting any starts. And I think at this point in time, Gabby's injury may hurt some of his playing time at this point if Trossard keeps on playing like this, because I don't know how you bench him. Just like we had talked about with Nketiah, whenever he was playing well and consistent, Jesus came back from injury and he didn't immediately go right back into the lineup, because how can you pull a player off whenever he's in form? I don't see how we can necessarily pull Trossard off of that left wing if he's continuing to bag goals and bag assists. And that was a hell of a finish. Like,
absolutely.
Coming across first time, back post, the way that the keeper is going, and keeper has no chance of saving that.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Our third goal then, Trossard to Jesus. Jesus, okay, hold on. The touch before the goal.
World class.
Oh my god. Sumptuous. What a touch that. The fact that he dropped the ball right in front of him and then just finessed it. This is the strikers that we've been needing. And we have multiple strikers now that can do this. I'm so happy. I'm so relieved. No more banter ball. It's Arteta ball now, lads. It's Arteta ball. Come on. And then our fourth goal, of course, bagging, again, bottom right corner, Martin Odegaard. I saw a tweet that was identical to the Newcastle finish from last season.
We've seen that so many times from him.
So many times.
It's the same strike that he does every time from like the same distance.
It's like a staple, like Saka's back post curler. We have Odegaard's like across the goal finish, bottom right corner. It's like we're starting to see these staple goals.
Yeah, facts. And as long as we just keep seeing goals, it doesn't have to be staple goals all the time. As long as there's just goals, we'll be all right. We will be all right. So with that being said, guys, how do you feel about? I mean, granted, take it with a grain of salt. This is game number 1. But how are our chances looking? Because I think we had the highest score line, goal deficit this week. How are we feeling about our Champions League chances this year?
We don't lose a match in the group.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, I
We don't
agree.
lose a match in the group. I think we're either going to win out or there may be like a draw away to PSV. I don't see us dropping any points in the group.
At worst, I think we have a bunch of consistent performances, and then we do heavy rotations when it doesn't matter. Like when we're already, I could be wrong. I could be wrong again. Arteta,
Ari
was
the
like,
rotation master.
The
he said
rotation master,
he said
baby.
screw those rotations. But if we're far enough ahead in points and we don't need to worry about the group anymore, I'm sure he'll rotate. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sammy, how are
Yeah.
you feeling?
I think we went out the group. Sevilla's bottom of the league still in La Liga. Lens plays pretty well in the French league. They might be challenged, but I think we win everything at home, and I think PSV away and maybe Lens away might be difficult. And Sevilla away is always difficult, but not how they've been playing recently. But they do have Sergio Ramos back, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, let's hope he doesn't pull a Sergio Ramos from the 2019 Champions League final where he broke Salah's shoulder. Let's hope he doesn't, do the same thing to Saka.
Let's just not
let's
even
pray.
put that out there.
Let's pray.
Let's not even put that out there. I'm knocking on it.
Listen.
All over this
Sergio
here.
Ramos needs to be two-footing a different Englishman, not Saka. And that's all I'll say.
okay.
So, so again, we move to the North London Derby this weekend. I think this is a great way to build momentum for that game. I think we batter Spurs. I know Spurs look good, but if you really pay attention, Spurs back line, horrific. Spurs holding midfield, horrific. It's just the attack that we have to be careful with, and I think Saliba will be emptying his car keys, his wallet, and then Son Heung-min coming Sunday morning. But with that being said, any closing remarks? Any final feelings about today's game that haven't been said?
Oh, is North London Derby, is that at the Emirates or White Shark Lane?
it's at Emirates. Yeah.
Emirates,
White Shark Lane is goated. That is goated. I've never heard that
I
before.
just wanted to check.
All right, yeah. At the Emirates, at the Fortress, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
About that.
Sammy,
Oh,
we're
you
glad
were gonna
you're.
say something?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna speak on Trossard a little bit more.
No, go
I
ahead.
feel
Go
like-
ahead.
Yeah. I just think like every time he provides a service, like it always finds feet. Like it doesn't matter like where he is on the pitch. Like I feel like every time he passes the ball, like it's finding feet and it's somewhere dangerous. So I just love him as a player. I said for a long time that like bringing him from Brighton would have been a great idea, and I'm so happy that he had a falling
Dude,
out with
that
this.
email to Arteta probably went. Like, he probably read it. And was like, dude, this Ari kid is cooking. Not with his rotations, but with his
transfers.
He needs to play.
Yeah. I mean, he's just been so class for us, and he reminds me a lot of Santi Cazorla with like his dribbling and his technicality, just his two-footedness. Like, he's just such a good player.
That's a really good comparison.
That is a
Yeah,
really
that's-
good
Yeah, I
comparison.
like that.
Yeah, I just wanted to sprinkle that in there. But.
No, awesome. Sammy, any closing thoughts?
No, I think Raya starts again. We get 2-0, 3-0. I know Matt's gonna be like, dude, Spurs are so good. Like, bro, you're used to playing ancient, prehistoric football. Like, relax, dude. You got James Madison for a couple games. You think he's cooking?
I think they've been overperforming this season.
Yeah.
Like thoroughly overperforming,
Yeah.
and it's just gonna catch up.
Well, they've
sure.
they've had a lot of comebacks already. Like they've
Mhm.
gone down early and then they have to dig themselves out. But I don't think they'll have as easy of a time digging themselves out against us. So.
And they lost out Perisic for the season. Unfortunate. Another ACL tear.
Oof. Tough.
I did not see that. When did this happen?
This
Yesterday
morning.
or this
Oh,
morning,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, this morning.
Ouch.
It was non-training too, so I don't know what happened, but
What the?
I don't know what he was doing.
Arteta's
but
juju was just floating around. I don't know what was happening, but
unfortunate.
That's
He's good
crazy.
for them too.
yeah, he has been, and they don't have a Penry Kane anymore, so they don't have to
But
worry
they
about
got
scoring.
they've got Richarlison, who's
Who?
bagged the goal and got an assist now.
Who?
I'm being
He's
being
cooking,
hella
dude.
sarcastic. He's cooking with that one goal and assist.
Oh, don't you wait. He's gonna wake up and beat a pigeon, dude.
Yo, he's gonna score an offside goal and then take his shirt off.
Yeah, take his shirt off again.
Yellow carded. He
But-
doesn't realize it's his second yellow.
We can save this all for. He'll score and then 20 seconds later we'll hit another goal and end his dreams after he's taking his shirt off and hit the pigeon celebration.
Oh, yeah.
But we could talk all about this at our next video, which will be the North London Derby, which, by the way, Gooners Gone Wild fans, will be our first podcast on Spotify. So if you guys are Spotify listeners, Apple Podcast listeners, be on the lookout for that. Gooners Gone Wild on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And we will see you all in the next podcast. And as always, Gooners, come on. Come on, you Gooners.
Mwah! You Gooners, baby.
Oh, it's so good to be back. It's so good to be back.
We are back.
Back, baby.